the City of Lights.
The Champs-Élysées.
The Eiffel Tower bathed in Olympic glory. That's the image France wants to project to the world this summer. But beneath the surface, a different story is unfolding. France is on edge, gripped by political turmoil just weeks before the 2024 Paris Olympics. Unexpected election results have thrown the country's political landscape into disarray. A hung parliament, a divided nation. Can France pull off a smooth Olympics under these circumstances? In this episode of HT in Depth, we'll delve into the heart of France's political turmoil, exploring its impact on the upcoming games. The crux of the issue lies in the recent legislative elections. French President Emmanuel Macron dissolved his parliament and announced snap elections on June 9th. The surprise election came after Macron's party was defeated in European Parliament elections. With the entire Europe seeing a rise of far-right parties, France too opted to move away from Macron's centrist beliefs. The far-right, led by Marine Le Pen's National Rally, is capitalizing on fears about immigration and national identity. Meanwhile, the far left, with leaders like Jean-Luc Mélenchon, is pushing for social justice and economic reforms. However, a left-wing coalition victory, coupled with a strong showing by the far right, could not produce a majority win for either of the parties, leaving the country with a hung parliament. The results showed just over 180 seats for the new Popular Front leftist coalition, ahead of Macron's centrist alliance, with more than 160 seats. Marine Le Pen's far-right National Rally and its allies secured more than 140 seats. The far left's rise is rooted in economic inequality, social justice issues, and widespread dissatisfaction with the present establishment. Promising radical reforms, the far left advocates for wealth redistribution, stronger social protections, and an anti-globalization stance. These ideas have found support, particularly among younger voters. However, the far left's agenda also sparks fear and resistance, leading to a polarized political environment. With no single party holding a majority, forming a stable government has become a monumental task. Negotiations are ongoing, but the prospect of a weak coalition or even a new election looms large.
La situation qui s'est créée est complètement inédite et originale sous la Ve République, parce qu'effectivement on a eu des cohabitations, mais des cohabitations avec les premiers ministres qui avaient quand même une véritable majorité derrière eux. Là, aucun des blocs ne peut avoir la majorité absolue, et en plus on a une polarisation politique et électorale très forte. Donc on est vraiment avec des blocs totalement antinomiques les uns par rapport aux autres. Et le principe d'une coalition, c'est quand même de faire des compromis, d'accepter quand même certains renoncements, de lâcher du lest sur les programmes. C'est pas la position notamment de Jean-Luc Mélenchon hier soir qui a bien annoncé qu'il fallait mettre en œuvre le programme du nouveau Front populaire sans aucune négociation. C'est sans doute pas l'idée qui traverse l'esprit des socialistes ou des sociodémocrates. Donc effectivement, on va avoir des problèmes, je dirais à la fois de cohésion des ensembles politiques et de mise en œuvre d'un gouvernement qui sera un gouvernement par définition très fragile.
As Paris gears up to host the Olympic Games starting on July 26th, the city finds itself in the throes of chaos. Following a polarizing election result, the streets of Paris have become arenas of conflict, with right-wing protesters clashing with left-wing supporters. Adding to the turmoil, labor union strikes at major airports threaten to cripple incoming traffic and disrupt preparations for the international event. This convergence of political unrest and industrial action underscores a period of significant instability in France, raising concerns about the nation's ability to effectively host the upcoming Olympics.
Obligatoirement, parce que vu le clivage qu'il y a entre les campagnes et les villes, je pense que je vois même pas comment on pourrait réconcilier la France à l'heure actuelle. Donc moi ça me fait peur de voir les déferlements de violence, le fait que ce soit banalisé d'avoir des propos qui soient racistes, antisémites, misogynes, islamophobes, ce qu'on veut. Cette banalisation de la violence, moi je trouve ça très effrayant.
The recent election results have shocked the nation, triggering immediate public outcry. Thousands of protesters from both political spectrums flooded the streets. Right-wing groups expressed their dissatisfaction through violent protests, while left-wing supporters celebrated the results with cheers and applause in places like Stalingrad Square and Republic Plaza. The night was marked by scenes of chaos. Massive bonfires lit the Parisian streets, and police in riot gear worked tirelessly to manage the situation. The use of tear gas by police to disperse crowds met with the hurling of Molotov cocktails by protesters, escalating the violence significantly. This unrest not only highlights deep political divisions, but also casts a shadow on the upcoming Olympics. Amidst this political upheaval, labor unions have initiated widespread strikes across major French airports, including Charles de Gaulle and Orly. These strikes, driven by demands for better pay and working conditions, have led to significant flight cancellations and delays, disrupting both domestic and international travel. As the Olympic Games draw near, the potential for further disruption looms large, posing a logistical nightmare for athletes, officials, and tourists planning to attend the event. The timing of these strikes is particularly problematic. Airports are essential hubs for the influx of visitors to the Olympics, and any disruption in operations could have ripple effects throughout the entire event. The strikes reflect broader discontent among workers in various sectors, who feel overlooked and undervalued in the current socio-economic climate. Despite the political challenges, Paris braces for the Olympics scheduled from July 26th to August 11th. Infrastructure projects, such as new sports facilities and transportation networks, are nearing completion. The government is working closely with the International Olympic Committee to ensure that all requirements are met. Efforts are also being made to promote France's cultural heritage and hospitality. Organizers are determined to showcase the best of France, with focus on sustainability and inclusivity. The motto, Games for the Future, reflects their commitment to a greener and more accessible Olympics. However, Macron's political gamble has thrown an unexpected shadow over the preparations for the Games, raising concerns about the impact on France's global image and the overarching themes of diversity and openness emphasized by Paris 2024.
With the Olympics, yeah, especially because you're going to have people from all over the world coming to France, and this spirit of inclusion and enlightenment and fraternity that France is famous for is then quite negatively affected by the election of a far-right president, potentially.
Estoy un poco preocupada, sí, porque veo que la tendencia del mundo es ir hacia la extrema derecha y ya sabemos, es un pasado inmediato el nazismo.
The elections have dominated the French media landscape, overshadowing the final preparations for the Olympics. Many observers and political analysts viewed the prospect of the far-right gaining power as a substantial risk that could tarnish France's reputation. However, the actual results have left the Olympic organizers and government officials scrambling to reassure the public and international community about the stability and readiness of the Games.
Nous sommes en moyenne sur 30 000 policiers et gendarmes mobilisés chaque jour, avec un pic évidemment pour la cérémonie d'ouverture à 45 000, mais donc on a une très grosse mobilisation de nos effectifs.
This statement echoes the broader sentiment that while the faces of the cabinet might change, the senior civil servants in charge of crucial Olympic-related tasks will ensure that the Games are not disrupted. The timing of the election has had a noticeable impact on public interest in the Olympics. Some argue the passion and enthusiasm for the Games would have been higher if Macron hadn't dissolved the parliament.
Politics may be happening in the background. Certainly I hope for France, and I hope in the United States and Los Angeles that we can rise above politics and be really something that unites the country, irrespective of how people think about different issues.
Despite the political upheaval, the practical aspects of the Games organization have been strategically planned to mitigate financial and environmental impacts. France has invested at least 2.4 billion euros in the preparations, focusing on sustainability. Little new permanent infrastructure has been developed. Instead, temporary stadiums and refurbished facilities will be used, significantly reducing costs and environmental impact.
Il y a beaucoup de vie, d'initiatives, d'activités que les gens pourront découvrir dans les environs. Je suis très content qu'on ait cette possibilité de montrer presque au monde entier voilà, la beauté du 10e arrondissement.
The intersection of politics and sports in France sets the stage for a dramatic and unpredictable Olympics. The political turmoil presents significant challenges, but it also offers an opportunity for the nation to demonstrate resilience and unity. As we count down to the opening ceremony, the world is watching closely. Will France rise to the occasion, or will the political unrest cast a shadow over the Games?